Yes, there is one leftist icon who does not seem so thrilled with BLM and the BLM leaders and the anti-Americanism that they foment. Who would that icon be? I think I've already given it away. It would be the notorious RBG.
Justice Ginsburg, how do you feel about San Francisco 49ers player Colin Kaepernick and other NFL players who have basically refused to stand for the national anthem?
What do I think? I think it's really dumb of them. Would I arrest them for doing it? No. I think it's dumb and disrespectful. I would have the same answer if you asked me about flag burning. I said, I think it's a terrible thing to do, but I wouldn't lock a person up for doing it. I would point out how ridiculous it seems to me to do such an act.
I got to tell you, the more I hear about this RBG lady, the more I like her. The more reasonable she sounds. Gosh, I totally agree. Burning the flag is a horrible, terrible thing to do. And disrespecting the flag in the way that Colin Kaepernick and BLM have done are very stupid, very disrespectful. How many left-wingers presently invoking the sainted RBG would be willing to acknowledge all of that? Probably very few. But the reason for that is that RBG is giving a liberal political view of flag burning and the kneeling at the flag and disrespecting the anthem. That's a liberal political view. Namely, I don't like it, but I wouldn't arrest you for it. It's not that big a deal, but you shouldn't do it. The difference is that BLM is not merely political, but it has taken on the tone and the form of a religious liturgy. Very clearly the kneeling is a religious action. The BLM supporters are genuflecting, but it's an inverse religious liturgy. So they're not genuflecting on their knee to show respect, they're genuflecting to show disrespect for the flag because America's a hateful place and the cops are racist and whatever other nonsense they want to spew. So it's a sort of inverse religious liturgy. Rather than being edifying in community, obviously it's divisive and tears the country down. Rather than being salvific, it's destructive. But that is the religious liturgy. It's why you can't argue with them. It's why they have all these kind of cockamamie theories about human nature, like white people bad or black people good, or that there's this superstructure of oppression in the world that they call white supremacy. The actual superstructure of oppression in the world is Satan. This fallen world, the prince of darkness, principalities and powers, spiritual wickedness in high places. That's the actual spiritual oppression that we have. But because the left is vaguely materialistic, vaguely anti-Christian or anti-religious, sometimes explicitly so, that they can't make sense of that. So it has to be physical. It can't be a spiritual darkness. It has to be a physical problem, namely skin color or sex, right? I mean, we're focusing on the racial aspect, but it could be sex, men bad, women good, straight people bad, non-straight people good, LGBT, LMNOP. Or in the BLM What We Believe section, when they say we're here to disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family. Right? They want to destroy the nuclear family for that reason, because all of the structures of society are oppressive. Karl Marx famously called for the ruthless criticism of all that exists, and his acolytes in the cultural spheres then took up that crusade, and that's what we're seeing. Not merely political, certainly also religious. I hope you enjoyed that short segment from the Michael Knowles Show. Be sure to check out the full episode linked in the description or download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.